Hello lovely brides and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then this YouTube channel is all about bringing wedding planning goodness to the modern bride. I'm Lauren, wedding planner and owner of Bluebird Creative, and today we are talking about the C word. Yes, I'm going to dive into some questions and some tips and a bit of hopefully good advice for you in regards to coronavirus and how it might affect your wedding plans. Without further ado, let's dive into these tips. I really hope it helps you at this really uncertain time. Any support you need, I am here. So one of the main questions that keep getting fired my way are, what do I do? Now, first of all, let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you are getting married in June, July, and further on in the year, do not panic yet. There is no need to panic yet. I know it is uncertain and we don't know how long that this is going to be going on, but it is not imminently affecting you and your wedding day. So just go as if things will be running normal, and closer to the time you can assess the situation. If, however, your wedding is in March or April, then you may want to be starting to implement some backup plans or looking into the options and finding out whether your suppliers are still working, going ahead, if your venues are going to be open, and so forth. There are a few different options, and after the government press conference, which was Monday the 16th of March, we were advised as a country to not have any unnecessary travel or any unnecessary social gatherings. So that actually makes things a little bit confusing, doesn't it? We're not being banned from things, we're just being advised not to do things, not advised to go to the theatre or the cinema or restaurants. But these places aren't being told to close, and neither are wedding venues. So it is a little bit uncertain and a little unclear as to what you should be doing. However, there are a couple of different options for you. Before I go into those, I just want to make clear that there is an amazing community of suppliers that are really banding together here. They are ready, armed and willing to get to your weddings if they are allowed to. Until anybody says otherwise, they are ready, unless they feel ill, and even if so, they have got backup teams ready and in place, and there's communities forming on Facebook and other places to help with extra cover if they need it.
Hi guys, so as I am editing this video, I just actually wanted to add a little side note. I did a mini disclaimer at the beginning of the video, but I feel like I just need to add a little bit more. I'm obviously not an insurance company. I don't work for the government, and it feels very strange talking about this particular topic. Politics, advice, guidelines, it's not my usual realm. It makes me feel a little bit uneasy. I try not to be too opinionated on anything, and hopefully that you can see that in this video. This is just me running with what we know, hoping that the advice that I'm giving will help and reduce some of the overwhelm. This is such an uncertain time. Guidelines are changing daily. I'm hoping to have this video out today. Today is currently Wednesday the 18th of March. I filmed it originally on the 17th of March. And who knows, come Friday the schools might be shut and venues may officially be asked to shut down. I don't know where this is going. I just felt like I needed to come on and have a slightly personal chat because it's such a personal topic, instead of just sitting in my office doing my usual type of video. I've dealt with quite a few brides over the last few days who are obviously extremely distraught and very emotional, and this is an extremely emotional time for everybody involved. So obviously for brides, it's really emotional. It's your wedding day. It's what you've put everything into. It's also really emotional. I'm getting emotional. It's also really emotional for the business owners and for everybody in the industry, because we're basically, it's like just seeing the wedding and the events industry just crashing in front of our eyes, and people's businesses are just potentially going to cease to exist. So we all have to pull together here and get through it, and we will get through it. The community is absolutely phenomenal. I don't really know what to say. I started off doing this little vloggy bit as a disclaimer, and now I'm getting emotional and upset. Okay guys, I'm going to put you back into the video.
But let's jump into one of the options. So one of the first options is to carry on as normal. If your wedding is this weekend, next weekend, or in the next few weekends, you can at the moment carry on as normal. The country is not in lockdown. We are just advised to self-isolate. However, there will be implications. You will have a lower amount of guests. The over 70s will likely not attend, and it's not a good idea that they do attend because they are vulnerable and high risk. If you have any pregnant friends or any vulnerable friends, they also will not be able to attend. So it's likely that any grandparents and maybe even some parents won't be able to attend your wedding. Now, there are ways around that. We've got some amazing online portals now. You can use Zoom, you can always do a Skype call, and you can have them there at your wedding virtually. It isn't the same, but it is a great alternative if everything is still planning to go ahead, but you want them involved, you want them to feel the emotion, to see the love on the day itself. Other implications will obviously be hygiene standards. Things will have to be raised. Companies will need to be looking into ways to make their services and their products safer, and there will be more restrictions. So extra cleaning will be done. Perhaps if you were having sharing boards, you may have to have a think about that because of the hygiene and contamination. It does mean that things are going to be overthought, but if you want to go ahead and you're dead set on the day and there are no other options, then you can work around it. It is doable at the moment. The second option is to postpone. Now, I think this is a great option at the moment because we don't really know what's happening, and as we've said, a lot of guests can't make weddings at the moment. But before doing this, you obviously need to speak to all your suppliers and see where they sit, check through your contracts and see how they feel about it and what their options are. From what I gather, a lot of suppliers are willing to postpone, but they may have restrictions in place. They may let you postpone during 2020 if the date is still available. They may let you go to 2021, but not at peak days because they will have other weddings booking. They may let you book to 2021 on Sundays or weekdays, or if you want to move to 2021, you may have to pay an additional fee because rates will have gone up for 2021. So there are options, and every supplier is doing it ever so slightly differently. Remember, this is their businesses at stake as well. So speak to each supplier, and most importantly, speak to your venue, because at the end of the day, that is the main factor that's holding everybody together. So you want to see where they sit on it, if there is movement for you to postpone, and when you might be able to do that. The final option is for you to cancel your wedding. Now, if you feel that this is your only option, then obviously you will have to go down that road. But I do urge you to hold off as long as you can. I urge you to wait, to think about it, and to explore all the other options you can do. By cancelling your wedding, your insurance will not cover you because you have chosen to cancel. There has been no other reason. Suppliers haven't cancelled, the venue hasn't closed, and the government hasn't forced any suppliers or venues to close. So if you choose to cancel, you will not get any money back. Your insurance will not cover you. So really, really do think about that option if that's what you want to take, but just make sure that that is the last option and explore all the other ways possible as well. Now, I've had a lot of questions on wedding insurance. I am not a wedding insurer and I cannot give advice on wedding insurers. However, a general consensus seems to be that most insurers in the UK at the moment are not covering for weddings if you were to apply for them now. Some might be, most are not. If you already have wedding insurance, as a general consensus, in most cases, they will not cover you for coronavirus related cancellations. The only way you will be covered is if the government enforces venues to close, in which case it is out of their hands, it is out of your hands, and your insurance will cover you for this. But again, check with your insurer, check those T's and C's. It is not guaranteed. But sadly, on the whole, they will not cover if you have to cancel or postpone your wedding due to this very uncertain time. And finally, my last piece of advice here, and I've kind of already mentioned, you've just got to ride the waves with this one. You've got to wait it out. So if you are getting married in the next few weeks, then obviously it is time to start taking a bit of action and finding out what the options are. But if you are May, June, July, you need to wait it out. You need to ride the waves, and you need to see where this is going to take us. We may be out of the woods and in the clear by then. We may not. We don't know where this is going to go. We cannot read the future. But there is no need to be scared and to panic and to react to something that might not be necessary at the moment. So I urge you to just ride the waves, play it out, and when you're about 5 weeks out from your wedding, then start to make some decisions and put some plans into action. If you need to speak to your suppliers beforehand to check their terms and conditions, then do, but please do bear in mind that most of them will be dealing with any weddings that they have booked in now that are imminently having to move, cancel or postpone. I hope you found this video helpful. I know it is not our usual tone and I wasn't sure whether to do this or not. I just really hope that those small pieces of advice can help, can guide you, give you a little bit of knowledge, calm you, and hopefully just make you feel a little bit more at ease at this uncertain time. I have a community of brides in my Facebook group. There's now over 500 brides and they are all supporting each other, especially at this time. I'm in there daily at the moment, so if you want to come and join the group, I'll put a link up below and in the comments box. Just click and come and join us. If you're feeling any of these stresses at the minute, then please do come and use the support in the community. Again, if you really are uncertain and you need some specific questions answered, then reach out to me directly. Again, my email address is in the comments below. So please do get in contact, and if I can help, I will. I hate the thought of anybody getting stressed and overwhelmed with the current situation, so I will do my best to help who I can. I hope you guys have a lovely week. I will be back next week with a normal video, and hopefully we will have a little bit of a clearer view as to what is happening in the weeks ahead. I'll see you next week, guys.